we wanted to come to you and talk to you about the Young Living Foundation, which is global. It has a global impact, which is really cool, but it is made possible by every single one of your orders. So the administrative costs that go into keeping the foundation alive is in part because of profits that are made off of every single order. What's really rad is when you donate to the Young Living Foundation or when you dollar up on your orders, 100% of those donations goes directly into the foundation. So that means that not any kind of percentage is taken away for administrative costs because Young Living has already covered that. So that's really important to know, that your donations directly make an impact in somebody's life, which is cool. What I love is that we initially started, when I started back in 2015, we had a focus of 9 organizations and nonprofits that we worked with closely. Now we have several all over the world. And if you go to younglivingfoundation.org, you're going to be able to see all of those. I mean, I will show you on my computer, but I don't know if it's going to show you my screen very well. But you can see, like, they're clearly labeled all over the world. There's black dots that represent several nonprofits, and then there's blue dots that represent one nonprofit. And that's really special. And they're very strategic in who they partner with. They have to be accredited, and definitely it makes me feel good knowing that my money is going to well-established nonprofits that are legit, they're in line, they have good stewardship with their funds. There are 3 pillars that the Young Living Foundation goes for, and that is the nonprofit needs to champion education, which is helping, to educate children and families. It is about developing enterprises, which is so cool because you can give someone a fish, but if you teach them how to fish, then they can have a sustainable life. In the same way, when we help people to build their own businesses, that helps them to not only create a sustainable life for themselves, but it also creates a sustainable community, right? A thriving community. And the 3rd pillar is to end exploitation. So there is, labor laws and human trafficking. And so we are helping nonprofits to bring people out of those kinds of environments, and not just taking them out of those situations, but actually providing tools and resources to help them overcome the trauma that they've gone through so that they can go back into the world healed. Yeah. So what's even cooler is that Young Living has such a heart for giving back, and they know that every single person has a God-given desire or passion on their own heart to help in some kind of way. And we're always seeking that purpose of how can we help. So Young Living has created a Passion in You project through the Young Living Foundation, where you can champion a project that fits within one of those 3 pillars, and they're going to come alongside of you and not just help you fundraise, but they're going to match dollar for dollar your fundraising efforts up to $10,000, which is cool. And that's why I brought my husband in here, because I want you to share how we asked the Young Living Foundation to help us with the Hope Drive that we started in November.
Yeah, what's really cool is that, like she mentioned, that you feel like you want to help, and you're not sure where your money's going. You try to give it to a company or a corporation, and you're like, man, I really hope this goes for the long term, not just something that's going to happen maybe for one moment. And so we have been working with the Phoenix Rescue Mission on this Hope Drive, where we were raising, at first, just like food and some small resources to kind of help people in these marketplaces so that they can bring their family and get food for the month or whatever it is. And then as we started really delving into the Phoenix Rescue Mission, as it's more than that. They are actually trying to teach people how to get back off of the streets and into their homes, or starting a business, or getting a job, giving them resources, whether it's the education or it's clothing, but just giving them all that opportunity to get back on their feet and actually change their lives, not just change the moment. And so we started this Hope Drive, and it was a small group that started it, and we reached out and made it God-sized, and we just kept asking for more and reaching more people. Next thing, we have multiple communities helping and raising money and bringing in funds. And then the Passion in You project came about, and we just said, you know what? Let's go big. Let's go for the whole 10 grand. We have to match, or they're going to match us. So we have to then raise it. And so we really put out there as much as we could, and we made the mark. Young Living matched it, and now we have been able to reach more and more people. And it's not just something that's going to happen today. It's going to impact their lives for so many years down the line. So it was phenomenal.
It was phenomenal. It fueled me as a brand partner, even, of how much this company believed in us for raising these funds. Because like Scott said, at first we were like, man, we're just going to put our yes on the table and let God take over. And when something comes up, we're just going to be like, okay, yes, God, like, how can we do this, and see how he provides. And so when the Passion in You project came about, I thought, gosh, I need to be bold and make this request. And it's a large application that you fill out, so they make sure that you're not just self-seeking, but you really are pouring into a nonprofit that will legitimately use the funds for good. And having that extra accountability, the extra layer of a company like Young Living coming alongside of you and saying, I'm going to match you, made us say to our community, hey, we've got a donor here that is willing to match us up to $10,000. Let's get the full amount. And it really rallied everybody and inspired them to make bold requests of people, and to be bold themselves and trust that we're going to donate in this way, knowing that our donation is being doubled in this way. So that was really incredible. And I just want to encourage you guys that if there's a need in your community, and we know that there is, that you be bold as well. So check out the Passion in You project. You can find it under the younglivingfoundation.org website, and get involved.
Absolutely.
Make a difference.
Yeah.
When you transform one life, you transform your whole city. So let's go change the world.